To the June 27, 2019 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Roll call, please.
Mr. Ray, Mr. Margraff.
Here.
Mr. Long.
Here.
Any conflict of interest statements, Mr. Long?
No, sir. Mr. President.
Here either. Approval of minutes of June 6, 2019.
Okay, I'm going to recommend we approve the minutes of June 6, 2019.
And I'll concur. Item A, correspondence received from A Plus Construction and Plumbing requesting approval to open cut in the alley at 6034 Holman Avenue to install water service.
Good morning.
Mr. Button.
Hi. Engineering has reviewed this request and support its approval by the board.
Okay, my recommendation is we approve the correspondence from A Plus Construction.
And I'll concur. Item B, correspondence received from Ms. Lynette First requesting permission to install a concrete service walk in the parkway.
Engineering has also reviewed this request and recommends its approval by the board.
Okay, my recommendation is we approve the correspondence from Ms. Lynette first.
And I'll concur. Item C, correspondence received from Salyer Plumbing Incorporated requesting permission to run new water service to the rear of 1724 Calumet Avenue.
Engineering has reviewed this request. This is the alley side, not the state highway side. So it is our jurisdiction, and we would recommend approval by this board.
Okay, my recommendation is we approve the correspondence from Sawyer Plumbing.
And I'll concur. Item D, correspondence received from Salyer Plumbing Incorporated requesting permission to run new water service in the parkway of Colorado Avenue and 175th Street.
Do I have a different agenda? Oh, I'm sorry.
Item D.
D, yes, I'm sorry. Engineering has reviewed this request, and we recommend its approval by the board.
Okay, I recommend that we approve the correspondence from Sawyer Plumbing.
And I'll concur. Item E, correspondence received from Comcast Cable requesting permission to install CATV cable by underground directional boring on the east right-of-way at Chestnut Avenue and 150th Street.
Engineering's reviewed and recommend approval by the board.
Okay, I'm going to recommend we approve the request by Comcast Cable.
And I will concur with that recommendation. Item F, correspondence received from Comcast Cable requesting permission to install CATV cable by underground directional boring on the south right-of-way of 173rd Street to the building at 2300 173rd Street.
Engineering's reviewed this request and recommend the board approve.
I recommend we approve this request from Comcast Cable.
And I'll concur. Item G, correspondence received from LTS Managed Technical Services, LLC, requesting permission to install underground fiber optic cable on Lake Avenue.
Engineering has reviewed this request. The Water Department is also coordinating on this action, and we would recommend approval by this board.
Okay, I recommend we approve this request from LTS Managed Technical Services.
And I'll concur. Item H, correspondence received from LTS Managed Technical Services, LLC, requesting permission to install underground fiber optic cable on Calumet Avenue.
This would be a state highway, and we would seek that the petitioner ask or coordinate with NDOT, but we would also ask that the board approve this request contingent on NDOT's approval. Thank you.
Okay, I recommend that we approve this request from LTS Managed Technical pending NDOT's approval also.
Thank you.
And I'll concur. Item I, correspondence received from LTS Managed Technical Services, LLC, requesting permission to install underground fiber optic cable on 177th Street and Northcott Avenue to Calumet Avenue and River Drive.
Engineering's reviewed this request and recommend the board approve this action. The Water Department is also coordinating on this action.
Okay, I recommend we approve this correspondence from LTS Managed.
And I'll concur. Item J, change order number 2 received from First Group Engineering Incorporated for 4th District lighting with an increase in cost of $1,648.99 for thermoplastic pavement marking in place of multi-component pavement marking.
So this is a little bit of an error in the plans. A particular item was included in the contract where we should have used thermoplastic. So we're substituting the item. It is a little more expensive to put thermoplastic down. It is the preferred alternative. There is a slight increase in the contract amount, but we know that this contract will come in significantly under budget with a balancing change order. So all we're really seeking to do is include an additional line item in the contract for this amount, which would be subject to an overall reduction. We would recommend approval by this board.
Okay, I recommend we approve the change order from First Group Engineering.
And I'll concur. Item K, notification of the start of construction on Route 41.
So this is immediately south of Cabello Drive on US 41. The new fueling station, Buc-ee's, is constructing a northbound left turn lane into the development. It has been permitted by the Indiana Department of Transportation, and we were notified. They have to coordinate with the city and with NDOT on this construction, but obviously it's an NDOT matter, and so this item is really just for the notification to the city about what's going on. There's some limited traffic control, but the roadway is not being closed. So we'd seek that you just acknowledge the receipt of this action.
Okay.
Yeah, it's already begun.
Duly noted, this is acknowledged for acknowledgement purposes for the city.
We got that? I'm sorry, did that got approved?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Budd. Item L, correspondence received from the Hammond Police Department approving block parties, Hammond Port Authority fireworks, a Corpus Christi walk, and disposal authorization submitted for approval.
Take a look at these. I'm very inquisitive about these.
Very nice, Mr. Long.
You like it?
Thumbs up, right? Pressure's off.
Just
Mr.
out of
Lyon?
curiosity, sir, is that a different walk than the ones we already had on the
No.
Corpus Christi walk? Okay.
No, no,
just
there was
making
two of
sure.
them.
All right.
Two of them, right?
Yeah, we already did them.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
just making
yes,
sure.
yes.
Thank you, sir.
I feel a weight lifted off my shoulders. I do.
These are
My goodness.
yeah, there's a lot of them. Okay, my recommendation is that we approve the police department's request.
And I'll concur. Item M, correspondence received from Fire Chief Jeffrey C. Smith requesting approval of the appointment of Senior Captain Eric Sanders of Station 4 effective June 17th, 2019.
I recommend we approve Chief Smith's request.
And I'll concur. Item N, contract for demolition services with JM Industrial Services Incorporated at a cost of $12,800 for the demolition of 905 Lyons Street.
We approved the bid for them. They were certainly less than the other contractor. So we were good to go with the
Yeah, right.
Okay, I'm going to recommend that we approve the contract for demolition services at JM Industrial Services.
And I'll concur. Status hearing on property located at 6145 Ray Avenue.
We had this in front of the board last week, and the property manager was here. We had several contractors that had not called for final inspections. They still have not called for final inspections. I'd like to recommend we put this for status for 30 days, and if those contractors do not call, then we will cite them accordingly and do the inspection so we can go forward on as far as the rental registration.
July 25th or in August sometime? July 20th. Okay. I'm going to recommend that we set that status hearing for July 25th, 2019.
And I'll concur.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item P, rental registration hearing on property located at 6549 Arkansas Avenue.
Can you state your name and address, please?
Demetrius Asapis.
Morning, sir.
8124 Frederick Avenue.
This is a 6-unit. He only owns for 2019. We haven't had any issues with the property.
Six units for 2019 only?
Correct.
I like to state that we've owned said property since 1974. Never missed a payment yet. I had a situation, my brother was dying. It's been a rough last 2 months. He was only given till the beginning of April. I went to see him on the 15th, and I missed my deadline here. He was real sick. I have death certificates to prove everything. He was real sick, so I missed my deadline, and I apologize. That's why I wasn't here. I've never missed a payment.
Okay, you're good, right? Okay, I'm going to recommend that we waive the late fee. You will have to register those at $5 per unit for a cost of $30.
Okay.
You can do that at the end of today's meeting if you'd like,
Okay.
if you stay. Okay? That's my recommendation.
And I'll concur with that recommendation. Item Q, rental registration hearing on property located at 516 Spruce Street, 617 169th Street, 719 Cherry Street, and 4931 Oak Avenue.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is John Conway, and I'm here for my son Jerome Conway, who owns those properties. He is a contract jet plane pilot. He was planning on coming in and paying, of course, at the very end to meet the deadline. He got called into Texas. I'm currently here right now because he's in training, jet training in Florida right now. He has always paid these on time, and he was late. And at the time I was in the hospital and I couldn't come here. And therefore I have them all with me, and well, that's basically it, really.
That is correct. They have been registered on time in the past. However, there's several units in some of these addresses. 516 Spruce is a 2-unit. 617 169th Street is a 1-unit. 719 Cherry is a 2-unit. And 4931 Oak is a 2-unit. There's been no issues at any of these properties. Mr. Conway's been around for a long time. They understand that what's necessary. Unfortunately, he got called out, but maybe next time if he does this in January, February, we won't have to come back here and do this, right?
Next time I'll keep an eye on him.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
Should have.
So a total of 7 units for 2019 only?
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to recommend that we waive the late fee for all the units. Sir, you can register those at the end of today's meeting if you'd like, and it would be a cost of $5 per unit for $35.
Would I be able to go and pay that right now?
As soon as the meeting's over, you have to wait till the meeting's over, but you can do it right after that.
Lynn will get you the paperwork that you need to go down for the girls to.
Oh, okay.
You'll need
Yeah.
his insurance information.
Okay, that'd be fine.
And
Thank you.
I'll concur.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item R, rental registration hearing on property located at 1122 Merrill Street.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Gentleman is registered for 2018 and every year previous. He's just not registered for 2019.
I had a situation. I work at ArcelorMittal, and I was scheduled days. My relief called off, and I couldn't get anyone in that amount of time to come in and pay it for me. But I understand the consequences. It won't happen again, and I'm sorry that I didn't make it.
One,
1 unit for 2019, right?
Not registered for 19.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to recommend that we waive the late fee for this 1 unit, and sir, you can register at the end of today's meeting, okay?
Thank
I
you.
just want to remind, Mr. President, I just want to remind everybody, including this gentleman and anybody else that's here, that you can start registering in January.
Okay.
Right, so just remember, next year, don't wait till, because April 15th, there's a line out the door
Right.
downstairs. So, you know, just do it early, it's easy, you can go down there and it helps the staff too. You can start in January.
Will do.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Item S, rental registration hearing on property located at 6405 Kennedy Avenue.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and address, please?
Maria T. Molson, 7951 State Road 231, Hebron, Indiana.
It's only, was for 2019, and this is a 2-unit, correct?
Yes, it is.
Do you have her Hebron address, Kelly? Because we just have the Hammond address of
See,
the property.
The situation at hand is that I live at 7951 State Road in Hebron. I'm unincorporated Crown Point, so most of the time, my mail goes to 6951 State Road. We've had this situation before, one time before, and that I didn't receive the application, and it came back and they put it under 6405 Kennedy. So all these years I've been getting it at 6405 Kennedy. This year I didn't. My manager didn't make it. I paid for the rentals. Are ready? Yes, that's my.
Is that your current address?
That's my current address, yes. And then when I spoke to them downstairs, they said, we don't know why you've been getting it at 6405, because we sent it where you live at, which I've never received it but twice. And I don't receive my mail there because it goes somewhere else. So I went downstairs and they informed me that they're not going to send out any more applications, that you're going to have to do it yourself and keep it on the calendar. And as of January, they told me as of January 1st that we could start paying for them. So they made me understand that, but I'm.
When you register, hopefully after the meeting, make sure that your address is correct on the registration form. And then when the labels are generated to be sent out, we send a reminder out every year, a little postcard, that we're going to register, then it should go to that address. Now, whatever happens in Hebron and whatever the mailman does with it, you know, as long as we have the proper address, that is where we'll
I
send
do
it
put
to.
it on 6405 Kennedy, because I don't try to receive anything over there, because I rarely get my mail
But
over there.
here's the issue, if we have a situation at the property, police or fire, or even code enforcement, and we need to go over there, we're gonna be looking for you at 6405 Kennedy, you're not there. We wanna be able to contact you, have phone contact if we need to be. God forbid something happened where we need to be able to call you and need to get a hold of you immediately, we're gonna be looking at Kennedy Avenue.
Well, I was never,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so again, Kelly, it's 1 unit for 2019,
2 units for 2019.
2 units for 2019. Okay, I'm going to recommend that we waive the late fees. Again, you can register those at the conclusion of today's meeting at a cost of $5 per unit, $10, and you'll have to wait till the meeting's over to do that, though, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Item T, rental registration hearing on property located at 6625 Alabama Avenue, 6922 Arizona Avenue, 2901 Gibson Place, and 6632 Arizona Avenue.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay.
Good
My
morning.
name's Tina Sinkia.
Multiple units in most of these properties. Situation that we have here, though, is that we were here in 2014 for the same situation. The board understands that we try to be lenient when we can. The situation that here we are chasing this situation again, I think it'd be appropriate to apply one late fee as a reminder that you have April 15th to get these registered, and we expect that to happen. You own those properties in 2014, correct?
Yes.
Are they all one unit? Are
I
they
have
single-family homes, or?
6625 Alabama is a 2-unit. 6922 Arizona, 2-unit. 2901 Gibson is a 2-unit. And 6632 Arizona is a single family. All right, it's actually a 2-unit. Do you still live at,
I live in the,
you
yeah.
live at the 6632? So 6632 is a 2-unit, but is occupied by the owner. One unit is occupied by the owner.
Okay.
We counted for 1 unit.
And there were late fees waived in 2014?
That is correct.
Okay.
I paid in 2014, I paid $500.
Okay, that's kind of the same thing you're going to be facing at this point.
Yeah, I just thought he asked you had I paid it in 2014.
Well, there was a late fee added in 2014, one late fee, basically the same situation we're facing today, if the board wishes.
So there's a total of 7 units, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So my recommendation is, for 6 of the units, I'm going to waive the late fee at a cost of $5 per unit. The other unit, you're going to have to pay the late fee of $500. You can pay those at the conclusion of today's meeting if you'd like,
Okay.
but you will have to wait till after the meeting. That's
All
my
right.
recommendation.
And I'll concur.
Fair enough.
Thank you. Item U, rental registration hearing on property located at 7432 Marshall Avenue. Mr. Holloway.
Carl, your name and address, please?
Richard Holloway, 537 Jefferson Avenue, Chesterton, Indiana.
And this is a situation where it's, has not been registered for 2019.
I apologize, I just procrastinated it with, I also started a new job and just, it slipped my mind.
How long have you owned this property, sir?
I've been renting it for 5 years.
You had no other issues with the property?
Okay, 1 unit, 2019. You have any objection? Okay, I'm going to recommend that we waive the late fee for that property, and sir, you can register it in today's meeting.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you. Item V, rental registration hearing on property located at 7550 Catalpa Avenue. Mr. Brent Vermeulen? No? What you got, Cal?
It's been registered through 2006 through 2017, and it was registered for 2019. However, they did not register for 2018. This is a 2-unit.
You have his address in Sherrville?
Not on this form. I do. I have it in the Zone Pro system. This is hand-typed
2
from
units.
the inspector.
Sir, what were the years?
Just for 18.
2018, 2 units. Okay, my recommendation is that we waive the late fee for one of the units, and the other unit will have to pay the $500 late fee.
And I'll concur.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item W, correspondence received from Councilman Mark Kowinski requesting $31,403 of gaming funds be allocated for the Community Crossings 50/50 program with the City of Whiting for the White Oak Avenue from 127th Street to 129th Street and 121st Street from Atchison Avenue to Indianapolis Boulevard project. His request for funding has been signed by himself as well as the mayor.
I recommend that we approve Councilman Kalwinski's request.
And I'll concur. Item X, correspondence received from Dayspring Ministries, 860 State Street, requesting permission to hold their 8th annual back-to-school rally on August 3rd, 2019, from 9 o'clock a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m., with street closure on Maywood Street between Sibley Street and State Street. They've done it before. Streets and police. Streets.
I'm going to recommend that we forward this to the street department and the police department for their approvals.
And I'll concur. Item Y, correspondence received from Ms. Carrie Black, 5654 Claude Avenue, Apartment F, requesting permission to hold a block party on the 5600 block of Claude Avenue, Saturday, July 13, 2019, beginning at noon with street closure. Is she here? No.
She gave me signatures.
Oh, yeah, she did, actually. Very nice.
Same thing, streets
Yeah,
and police.
and we don't have any, no closing time, but.
Party's over.
Yeah.
I'm going to recommend that we forward this to street department and police department for their approvals.
And I'll concur. And for the record, her correspondence did come with a signature page of her neighbors approving the block party, which is what we require as a board. Item Z, correspondence received from Reverend Santiago Gomez requesting a NIPSCO light be installed at the south end of the 5200 block of Ann Avenue.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
It is. I'm requesting a NIPSCO light installed in the 5200 block of Ann Avenue, or in the alley. And I've already spoken to Councilman P. Torres, Eduardo Banda, Councilwoman Venez, and they had sent requests to NIPSCO to install a light. But we haven't gotten the light. And while waiting, we had someone break into our house and broke the door. Because that area is real dark at night.
Have either one of you spoken to the city engineer to get some assistance, probably through the engineering department as well?
Yes, I've been pursuing this about 8 months now, and we've written a letter to NIPSCO. I've written from the council office, and they just haven't responded. So I was hoping that going through the Board of Works might have more weight, and he feels it's a safety issue. He had a burglary there. It's very dark. It's a block east from the state line, which he feels is a highly traveled crime problem there. So see if a letter from your good board help them get the light.
Is that possible?
They probably just want somebody to take responsibility for whatever power is used.
Is there, could the city do this versus NIPSCO do this?
We've had our light engineers over there, they said it's a NIPSCO pole, so they wouldn't have to install it.
I understand.
Yeah.
There already is an existing pole there.
Yeah, and they've
Okay.
even
We'll do that.
requested, our lighting department requested it, and they were ignored too.
Got it. Okay. We can do that, Councilman. We'll
Thank
we'll
you.
send a letter as a board.
All right, all right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Reverend.
That's my recommendation, that we send a letter to NIPSCO.
And I'll concur. Item AA, correspondence received from Mr. Kyle Wayner, 20 Kenwood Street, requesting permission to hold a block party on August 14, 2019, from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. with street closure. Is he here? Mr. Wayner here? No?
No signatures or anything? So he's got some time.
Yeah, it's in August, right?
Yeah, August 14th. Make a recommendation to get some signature neighbors.
Oh, that's a good point.
What do you think?
Yeah, do you think we probably need signatures on that street? 20 Kenwood. Oh, that's just running from home to state line, right? In there, a home in there.
So if you could
Yeah.
notify police or anybody? Police and
Yeah,
streets?
okay.
Okay, I'm going to make a recommendation. We approve Mr. Wayner's request, and that we send it to pending PD and street department's approval.
And I'll concur. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Item BB, garage sale permit submitted for approval.
How many days can we get? This one's 3. Okay. So we're good. I'm going to recommend that we approve the garage sale permits.
And I'll concur. Pardon me? And you. Matters from other board members. We do have a couple additional items here. There was a request for an organization from out of town to use some city space for advertising for one of their events coming up, and the city is not going to approve their request. This was addressed at last week's meeting, and that's going to be the board's. That's going to be my recommendation.
Okay, then I'll just concur with
Yeah.
that. I'll concur.
Yeah, I'll do an email right now.
Also, the board has received a couple of disciplinary matters from the police department for the board's acknowledgement, and I will recommend that we accept those.
And I'll concur.
And lastly, we have a request here from a resident who lives on Bering Parkway, the 7100 block, requesting this board to, the way I understand it, give special dispensation for a family event to allow people to park in the grassy parkway.
I'm going to make a recommendation that we do not approve this request.
And I will concur with that. That is all the matters from other board members. Matters from other department heads or their representatives. New business? None. Old business? I see none. Meeting's open to the public. Anybody in the public would like to speak?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Councilman?
First, I want to thank you for last week granting the permit for the St. Margaret Mary Corpus Christi procession. It was a big deal for them, and it was a last-minute request. But thank you for granting it, and thank you, Mr. Kalina and the captain here for, it was successful. They had about 100 people in spite of the rain, and they're very grateful that they got it. Okay. I also have another request for lights. I haven't pursued NIPSCO on this one, but 1100 block, North Alley of Chicago Street, and the 4700 block of Torrance Avenue, the West Alley on the north side of the alley. If in your letter, you can add those two addresses, those people.
What's the location again on the 1100 block of?
1100 block of Chicago Street and the North Alley.
Councilman, is there a more specific location so we can?
They don't have lights the whole alley.
The whole alley. So
yeah, it's a short block,
okay.
But the whole alley needs light, and there was a robbery there to one of the residents. They didn't tell me when it happened because I didn't know about that. But the disabled person and an elderly man, they feel unsafe there now.
Okay.
And 4700 block of?
Torrance Avenue.
Got it, okay.
The West Alley on the north side of the alley. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to speak? I'll entertain a recommendation to adjourn,
I'll make that recommendation.
and I'll concur with it. Meeting's over.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.